I do have Orchestrator from my mobile, which you can directly download from App Store. And to download something from App Store, what I can exactly do is go to App Store, and if I can directly go, and I need to go to App Store, search for UiPath Orchestrator. Once I have it, I think I can go ahead and check. I do have update. Let's update. Once you have Orchestrator installed and you will have open, just try to click on open and we'll have Orchestrator. I already have my Orchestrator installed and I already logged in, but if you want to just log in, go back to logout. Yes, if you are using some on-premise server, use that, but I'm using cloud platform, so it will take me to account which is same as Orchestrator login. Let's go and give my details. What do I have? I have Vajrang at outlook.com. Done. Next. Okay, let me keep sign in, use this. Okay, I'll keep this on. Okay, I can also enable my Touch ID because I do have Touch ID in my mobile, but let's keep it later. Okay, so what exactly can we see in this Orchestrator? Let's go one by one. From the top, you can see if you have different folder structure, you can see all the structures here or all the folders here. Something that I would like to say with Orchestrator is like an app, but you will not have complete functionality to create the folders and to update the folders. You will have basic functions that you can use, obviously, and you always have a beautiful dashboard where you can check whether a current process is running, or if we don't have any robots, or if we have any robot that's disconnected, we can always see that. And okay, current jobs, let me start something from my machine and let's see if that gets reflected in the robot, in the app. So let's go with my UiPath assistant, and okay, so I'm starting a simple hello world program. So I hope this should start and this should give me, or this should update me. Okay, current jobs 1 which is running, that's what's showing me, and which I have one bot available out of 2 that I have already connected. And this also shows me what exactly or how exactly are the bots running. Are they successful, or are they failure, or are they stopped? Okay, let's go with alerts. So what is an alert? Whenever a robot gets disconnected or whenever there is a error with severity, again we can filter out. Let's go back to our robots. Okay, so I currently have 2 robots that are attached to my Orchestrator license, and one which currently my machine is having, which is available. And if I can see, I can also see the machines which I am connected to, or which my Orchestrator is connected to. But again, this is only to view it, but I cannot really add or update the machine details here. If I want to do that, I need to go back to Orchestrator from my web and I need to do it. Let's go to jobs. So again, here jobs is something that we normally see in an Orchestrator, whether a particular process while execution is successful or not. That's what we can see. What also we can see is whatever the process that I already have, that we can see it here. One important thing is I can keep something in favorites. Like if I want to have some of the process, let's say that this particular hello world with forms dev, if I want to have this as a favorite, I can have it, and I can go with the process, and I can have this right away for me to run. And if you can see, we also have jobs, and we have one favorite job that's already failed, but let's go with process and let's see if I can run the process. I can also specify which process should I which robot should I start with. I can check with the robot here, because I only have one, it's showing me only one, but if I want to allocate dynamically whichever robot is available at that particular point, I think that I can easily do. Okay, let's start the job. Yes, I can start the job. Job is created successfully, and it starts with my robot or with my machine that's connected with this orchestrator. Okay, I can see that it's running, but let's go with the actions. So if there is any actions like tasks that are assigned to you which are pending, that you can see it here. For me right now there are no tasks, but in the next video we'll definitely see what are the tasks and if I can directly start the task from orchestrator from my mobile or not. But for now, let's continue with triggers. So what are triggers again? Triggers are like a point where we can start our execution, or we would like to start ask the bot to start. So here we can start the triggers. That's a beautiful option that's provided by UiPath Orchestrator, and it's very feasible and very easy to use. If I can start some target trigger, I can do that, and also I can assign one queue. Like if some item is added to a queue, then I can start the trigger, which I have already shown you how to start a robot with a queue whenever a queue item gets added to it. So let's go ahead and add something. Queue trigger from mobile. And can I add queues from UiPath in orchestrator? No, I cannot do that, but I can always select the process. Okay, this is the process I want, and I can select an associated queue. So whatever the queue I want, I can select it to that particular process. Okay, so this just says that whenever I add values to the queue, this process like hello world form should be started. And here in job priority, I can take anything, but I can keep high. And trigger conditions, multiple values when, okay, so the minimum number of items when to start, or the minimum number of items to trigger the first job. Like if I have 10 jobs, then I can start, and maximum number of pending and running jobs allowed simultaneously. So if I have around 10 jobs that are in progress, then I should not start one more bot, or I should not start one more bot to assign to this particular trigger. Okay, another job is triggered for each a distinct, okay, what exactly is this? A distinct job is triggered for each number of new items of on the top of the number set. For the first option, deferred items not taken into account. Not exactly sure what this exactly mean, but again, this is what matters for us. If I can update this as 2 or 3, then it will wait for 3 items to add to the queue item, then it will start the bot. That's how simple it is, and I can just go ahead and add the trigger. Let's wait. Okay, the trigger gets added, and even if I want to add one more trigger, then I can do that. But we can see all the items, like what environment is it in and what is the type, and copy paste is the trigger details or the queue name that's we are targeting, and stop after we didn't give any value. So let's go with the license. So here I can see how many licenses are available for me. For now there are 2 attended license and 2 studio license, 0 studio X licenses. And what else do we have? I also have one unattended license which I already assigned, and I do have 0 runtimes because this is the basic orchestrator license that's provided by UiPath and its community version. So this is what I have, and if you are having some organizational account, then you will have a different set of options here. And even here this doesn't change. Again, this favorites is still same. Let's go with alerts. Alerts is something that we can see if their job fails or if there is any alert that we trigger from our bot or from our process that we can trigger, but mainly it will show all the error alerts at the most and fatal alerts. Let's see if we can filter something. Yes, I think we can also filter depending upon the robots and depending upon the severity. So let's go with info and let's see if this changes. Okay, this changes. So here if I want to add some filter, I can go ahead and update the filter so I can see more items on that. So, and again in the actions, if there are any actions that are assigned to me, this again is a specific separate topic where we need to just add it and show, not possible to just explain like this. So let's go with assets. Best thing here, again I cannot add or update the assets, but I can see what are the assets that I have and I can just check. So if there would be an option to update the asset, I think that should have given a more flexibility to someone. Okay, let's go with the queues. Can I add or update the queues? Yes, of course I can create a queue. Let's add queue description from mobile. Does it have a unique reference? Yes, it should have a unique reference. And let's go maximum number of retries. SLA predictions. Okay, again this is a different thing that we are checking, like for a particular process to start, do we have any specific time that it should complete? SLA for newly added queue item, they don't have a deadline. Okay, let's go with risk SLA, and again this is to give an update or to make sure that a bot runs properly. Like let's say that there are around 100 items that are added to the queue, and if once they are added to the queue, they should not wait for more than 2 to 3 hours. I think that's what we can check it here. But let's add the queue item here. Queue is added. I don't have any issue with that. And if I want to check, okay, I can also filter it based on the trigger. If it has a trigger, then I can check with the triggers, and if it doesn't have a trigger, then I can do that as well. Let's go with settings. What do we have in settings? So I can enable my Touch ID. So there is the best option that I can say that's available here. We have Siri shortcuts. So what this exactly meant is, if I can also start my robot by saying to Siri that, hey Siri, start this bot. But for me that's not working. Again I need to check it. But here Touch ID, which exactly provides more security so that someone else who has access for my mobile don't start the bot. And appearance, here there are multiple themes that are available: light, dark and default, system default. So if it is night, it will be by default in darker mode, and if it is in day, then it will obviously in light mode. I can obviously add rating to this, but for now let's cancel and let's go back and let's check with the license and terms and help center. Again this navigates or redirects to some other pages. So let's go back to orchestrator, and what else do I have in switch service? So if I add more than one service, I currently have only Vajrang default, which is my service. I cannot add a new service here, but obviously if I have one service, then I can go and update the service which is like a tenant, and I can see those details or robots that are specific to those services. Let's go and log out. I think those are things that we have from orchestrator. So this is not the first version of orchestrator. Again, this is the upgraded version of orchestrator, which I am saying the basic version of orchestrator just showed us only the details which I don't have because my robot or my orchestrator for my mobile is upgraded or updated. In the next video, what shall we see? In the next video, we shall see how to add tasks. I think that should be the best thing to do, how to add actions, and if there are any actions, how can I trigger or how can I accept from my mobile. That's what we can see. And that's it for this video. Like, share and subscribe Vajrang Talks. Bye bye, have fun. Bye.